Universe of Moms. So of course on Unimo page all over the world people must be watching us, and on Mumo, which is a gated community for Mumbai mothers, we are live with this amazing pediatrician and lactation consultant. As promised, Dr. Zeenal is here with us, who is also associated with WHO and UNICEF. And of course this is a World Breastfeeding Week, mothers, so we keep doing innovative things, some stuff which can support you all in taking this mommyhood journey a little more far and more positive together. So here we have Dr. Zeenal, and I am sure you all want to talk to her rather than talking to me. So let me quickly come to her and ask her, who is Dr. Zeenal? Of course, I have been very impressed with your resume, not just because of the kind of degrees and credentials you have in your resume, but the kind of amazing work you are doing by giving back to society, Dr. Zeenal. So can you tell my viewers on what exactly is Dr. Zeenal and what all is she doing here?
Thank you very much, Neha. Wish a very good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for listening. When I started my practice as a pediatrician, I realized that no, there is something missing in our society. And when I spoke to my friends who have settled in Western world, they said, oh, there are these lactation experts over here. And I realized that why in India we don't have any. And that is when I specialized myself, that I realized that even women here in Mumbai, in India, need help. And that is how I specialized as a lactation consultant, where I felt that every baby has the right to get the mother's milk, and every mother has the right to make her goal chart as to what her goal is towards her baby, towards her motherhood, and towards breastfeeding. And that is how I decided to be with mothers in this journey of making their motherhood a more happier one and a more better one.
Okay, so we are trying to reconnect. Okay, so we are back again. I'm sorry guys, there's a little network congestion here, but we are at your amazing place, Work Square, which is our favorite co-working space. And of course today we have Dr. Zeenal here, and she just told you about her background. And I just came to know she's still jet lagged, and in fact she has been very sweet to accommodate this live with us, because she has flown down from Canada 2 days back, right,
yes,
doctor? And you have been there for something very amazing.
There was this international lactation breastfeeding conference where 93 countries have participated. So
93 countries, wow.
And I was invited from India, so I represented India along with other 3 colleagues of mine, where we are the ones who have been working to bring our country working with UNICEF, working with WHO, working with Government of India, where we have been doing workshops in the interiors of India, Orissa, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, where we have raised the standards where malnutrition rates of our country, where malnutrition rates of the babies have gone down, and there are more lively and healthier babies now. So it is about the understanding of when breastfeeding has to start. Okay, so the most important message for you all women over here is that as soon as you deliver, within 1 hour, the baby has to be pushed onto the breast. Okay, so there is something called as breast crawl. Girl can go breast crawl. So the link to YouTube is breastcrawl.org. So there is something where the baby finds its way to the breast and the baby latches on its own. This happens within the first 1 hour of birth, when the baby is very active and very alert. So when you do this initiation...
So mothers, can you believe it? The baby crawls on its own as soon as the new baby is born and latches on the mother's breast on its own. So I suppose that's a very natural process.
It's a very natural thing.
Today I don't think so we are really living up to that.
We are not, but in my practice, I must have practiced it on 5,000 plus mothers.
Wow.
For all the mothers who know me, they must have seen me doing work on that, and believe me, it is the most beautiful feeling a woman can get when she sees the baby coming close to her, giving her bare skin to skin contact, and the baby latching on. And the baby learns how to breastfeed, so you don't have to teach the baby anything after that.
Oh, lovely. So coming on to the breastfeeding questions, doctor, and as you know, when we announced that you are coming live, a lot of our mothers have already sent us some questions. First of all, the first question what all of them have asked is, how often should I breastfeed? How will I know whether my baby is getting enough milk? I suppose that's the dilemma with every new
see, what
mom.
happens is most of the babies, when they are hooked onto the breast or when they latch on, they are not sure how much they want, and they are not sure when they are full, because babies are still learning. So I tell all mothers that breastfeeding is an art like making rotis. You can never make round rotis from first day. Yeah? So it comes with practice. So the first few days of motherhood, that question always comes that, am I doing enough breastfeeding, or is my baby getting enough, or how many times am I supposed to breastfeed?
Correct.
Now if you have to run a marathon, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to practice. Without that you can't run 21 kilometers, right?
True.
Same way, it's about practice. So the first few days, I tell all mothers is what to do is do proactive feeding. What we mean by proactive feeding is feed the baby more often whenever the baby wants. So on average, you need to feed the baby anywhere between 8 to 12 feeds in the day.
Okay.
So that can be more in the day, more in the night, depending on when the baby wants. Now babies can't talk, right? So when I ask this question to most of the mothers that how do you know your baby is hungry, the only answer I get is crying. Now crying is the last sucking cue. Before that, the babies make some sucking cues. So if you try to create a bond with your baby and see the expressions on the baby's
I suppose
face,
eventually mothers learn that. Right?
that's what I said. Practice, yeah. So if you're tuned to understanding what your baby wants, then you understand from your baby's face. Like the mothers over here who have elder babies, maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, they must be looking at the baby's face and saying, "Oh, abhi a potty karega," and then everybody around it is wondering, how does the mother know that the baby is going to do potty?
True.
So it comes with time. But in the first few days, what you need to do is identify the sucking cues. That means see whether the baby is doing. The baby kinds of looks around for the breast. The baby removes the tongue out. If the hands are free, the baby tries to suck. So these are sucking cues. So follow the sucking cues of the baby. But you cannot do less than 8 feeds. The number which you need to remember is
not less than
8 feeds. So 8 to 12 is anywhere all the babies take. So
Okay.
it can be more in the day
When
and
you
more
say
in the
8
night.
is the day and night put together.
Put 24 hours. In 24 hours, anywhere between 8 to 12 feeds. So some babies take more feeds in the night, some babies take more feeds in the
Correct.
day.
Correct.
And most important is allowing the baby to feed how much ever the baby wants. Do not restrict in terms of minutes of feeding. We don't run by the clock. Babies don't run by the clock. At times it might happen you have just fed the baby, you keep the baby down, baby's past potty, the baby is hungry again. So you're not going to tell the baby it's not 2 hours, please wait. I'm not going to keep you hungry.
Yeah, in fact, a
That's
lot of
how it
mothers say that I have put my baby on a schedule, and I feel that's not a very wise thing to do.
Yes, there's no
Right.
schedule, follow the baby. So if the baby wants, keep the baby. But as I said, the number which you have to remember is 8 feeds minimum.
Okay, so talking about 8 to 12 breastfeeding sessions, a lot of mothers have a question, doctor, that if I continue breastfeeding, at times my breast hurts.
Yes.
So, is it okay to feed
Honestly,
the
breastfeeding shouldn't hurt. If
It
breastfeeding
shouldn't.
is hurting, that means you're going somewhere wrong. Most important thing is it's the sensation of sucking which you will feel, but that
Okay.
is not a hurt. So if you are having pain or if you are having hurt, that means your latch is not correct. So you need to go and meet an expert and understand if the latch is not correct. So just to tell a few tips, when the baby is latched on, most important thing is that the maximum areola has to enter into the baby's mouth. Because when the baby opens the mouth, this is the tongue, this is the palate. Maximum breast has to enter, and baby does this tongue movements, and that is what removes milk from the breast. And the milk enters into the baby's mouth. So if the baby is not doing this,
So
and
that
if the baby is
areola
doing this,
should go in.
yes, the maximum areola has to enter inside. So, and then the baby's chin has to touch inside and the nose has to automatically look up. So then you don't choke the baby also. Because most of the mothers have this concern that, oh doctor, my baby is getting choked. Because the nose rubs against the breast.
Yes.
So it's like the baby comes like this from down, maximum breast inside. Okay, so when you're holding the baby, it's actually the baby should look here and the nose should point to the ceiling. So if your position is right and if your latch is right, breastfeeding will never hurt.
And I suppose next time we should bring a baby doll to
Yes,
demonstrate.
I do have one, but maybe you didn't realize to bring it
Okay,
here.
so I suppose new mothers, you should keep trying, and if you're facing issues, you can still write in the comments down there, and Dr. Zeenal is there on our group, so she can answer more precisely then. But doctor, very pertaining question in today's time. A lot of dengue and swine flu seasons are on, and a lot of mothers are suffering because of that. Do you really recommend that at that time, or even if we don't talk about severe disease like dengue and all, even if it's a common cold or a flu, can the mother breastfeed the baby? So we are trying to reconnect, so we'll stop for a minute and then. Okay, so can the mother feed
most
the
of the
baby?
diseases like common cold, fever, okay, if you have some dental pain or appendix, breastfeeding is not contraindicated. You can continue breastfeeding.
Okay.
The only time where breastfeeding is contraindicated is when a mother is on some psychiatric drugs or the mother is going through some chemotherapy because of some cancer. Okay, otherwise there are no contraindications to breastfeeding.
So even during dengue, the mother
See, if
can-
the mother is stable and she is not on any higher end medications, dengue actually does not have any medications, we do advise to continue breastfeeding. So we do not stop breastfeeding in those kind of diseases, not even in swine flu. Continue breastfeeding.
Wow.
Because that is what your body gives immunity to your baby. So how can you deprive it? But yes, some mothers during flu prefer to express and feed the baby and do not do direct breastfeeding because they are more worried about the droplet transmission to the baby.
So then it's
So in swine flu probably you can express rather than doing direct feeding.
Oh, lovely. So when it's coming to expressing the milk, doctor, I have a question there. A lot of mothers who are, working mothers, they often pump the milk, and so they want to ask that how often should I pump when I go back to work, or say if I'm out for 3-4 hours How often should this be?
Technology has taken so much of a sweep in each and every field, right? Because of technology, here we are talking. Same way, breast pumps is something in breastfeeding which has helped. So any mother can pump milk and store it outside at room temperature for 6 hours, and you can refrigerate it and keep it in the normal bottle section for 24 hours, and you can keep it in the freezer for 3 months.
Freezer?
Yes.
Oh,
the
for 3 months?
Yes. For
Wow.
3 months. So I have a lot of mothers who have twins, or maybe who are expecting to deliver premature. You can start expressing and store milk in the freezer, which can be used at any point of time after thawing and given to your baby. So there is nothing like how many times pump, but yeah, depends on how much is your baby's needs. Maximum pumping what you can do is 12 times in a day. And now you have wonderful pumps which pump both the sides together. So in 10 minutes, your breasts are completely empty. And the psychology of making more milk is the more milk is removed from the breast, the more milk is produced. So the more you pump, the more your body starts producing milk. I'm very sure quite a few of these mothers must be having this question, doctor, I do not have enough milk.
Yeah, in fact, I was coming on to
yeah,
that.
so that is like the biggest thing which even most of the lactating mothers tell me, the doctor, I feel I don't have enough. So there is nothing like enough. Your baby decides what is enough. You don't decide. Remember this. So if you have a happy, chirpy baby, if you have a baby who's smiling, playing, not very cranky, okay, who has a peaceful look on its face, okay, passing enough urine. By enough urine, I mean passing at least 8 times urine in 24 hours. So again, this comes the magic figure of 8, right? So if your baby is passing minimum 8 times urine in 24 hours, and the baby is gaining enough weight for the pediatrician to be happy, that means you are doing a great job.
Wow.
So do not worry about the leaks. Okay, some mothers say that, oh doctor, my clothes don't get wet, or I don't see milk coming out. You will never see milk coming out. So please don't bother about pumping and pressing your breast and trying to squeeze milk. Do not do that. Okay. Even in pumps, so many mothers I have seen that when they're feeding directly, the babies are happy, but when they're pumping, they don't see enough milk. In that situation, you need to just increase your hydration status. Because if you are producing 1 liter of milk every day, the best way to increase that 1 liter is have 1 liter of additional fluids.
In fact, Dr. Jisha is asking us, Jisha Karun is also already asking us, can you please tell me the remedies to
That's what I
increase
said. So increase your fluid intake. That is the most important thing. So you can have lots of fluids, like you can have Nibu Pani, you can have Naril Pani, you can have
anything to keep yourself more hydrated.
Anything which is hydrated, which gives you energy. Like the mothers who are already breastfeeding will agree with me that they feel tired after a feed. They feel exhausted because your body is producing something extra. So drink extra. And the most important way of increasing milk output is not to worry and not to take stress. Stress is the only thing which reduces milk output. So if you're a happy mother, if you're enjoying your motherhood, you will have tons of milk. So do not worry about small things and get paranoid.
Yeah, and on Momo you always know that we believe in the Happy Mom project, and that's what our doctor is also recommending. And so mothers, be stress free, and sessions like these with experts like these would definitely make you more relaxed. And Ankita has a question here, doctor. She says, hi doctor, I wanted to ask my baby don't get up in the night to take feed, and I get up myself and feed her in 3-4 hours, but till now she's growing well and healthy, and she's 2.5 months old. So do you recommend that what she's doing?
If the baby is sleeping, please allow the baby to sleep. Do not torture the baby and torture yourself, even you go and sleep. Because otherwise, when will you sleep? Yeah, we all are human beings. So you have to follow the baby. Yes, you should thank your baby. Your baby is allowing you to sleep, right? So,
Ankita, I had twin sons and I used to feed one and the other one used to get up. I used to not get any night sleep. And you're like really blessed.
Most of the mothers complain like Neha, the doctor, we don't get sleep, right? So if you're getting sleep, please enjoy. Yes, but the upper limit is 6 hours. Beyond 6 hours, a 2.5 months old baby, you can wake up after 6 hours and wake up for a feed. So you have the luxury of sleeping 6 continuous hours. So you need to do 8 feeds, okay, Ankita? So you can't do less than 8 feeds. So if your baby is compensating in the day, it's perfectly alright to allow her to sleep.
Okay, so lovely. So doctor, now I have a question which is like the biggest myth which even I want a clarity on, which says, I have heard that I can get pregnant while breastfeeding. Is it true?
Breastfeeding.
Is there a connection?
See, breastfeeding is hormone related. Understand one thing. When you are pregnant, there is an excess of hormone in your body which is called progesterone. Okay, so when you deliver, after the baby, I think most of the people who have delivered will remember that they deliver a placenta. The placenta is a rich source of progesterone. So when the progesterone from your body goes, the other hormones increase, which is oxytocin, which produces milk. So milk is actually hormone related. Okay. Now, the most important thing over here is that because of the hormonal changes in the body, people feel that you cannot get pregnant, and this is the biggest myth that breastfeeding works like a contraceptive. But it does not. Yes, the chances of pregnancy are very, very less. But still there are possibilities that you can get pregnant. So I say that if you are breastfeeding 24/7, You might not get pregnant, but you have to use another contraceptive device along with it, and do not think that it's going to protect you. Like I had this recently, this mother, her baby was 2.5 months old and she conceived again. So imagine there is only 11 months difference between her both babies, and she delivered the second baby too. So it's like a wow situation, and now they look like twins.
Wow. So, doctor, one more important question. Are there any foods I should avoid eating while breastfeeding? And what about alcohol or caffeine primarily?
All foods which you are normally eating, okay, please eat. Like homemade garam khana is what one all love eating, right? Like I have just come back from Canada, you give me dal rice and I'm blessed. Oh my god, I had dal rice. So eat the food which we normally eat. Do not experiment in your pregnancy and in your breastfeeding. Eat healthy. Have lots of fruits, have lots of veggies. Some people might put restrictions that don't have bhindi, don't have bangan, don't have this. No, nothing like that. Everything is allowed as long as it is in a balance. Okay? Do not eat too much of restaurant food because you don't know how it is cooked. Right? So I tell all mothers that you eat enough and eat healthy homemade garam khana. No restrictions on what you eat. Okay? And alcohol, if you're really craving for it, what I suggest is you can pump little milk of yours and you can have alcohol up to 60 ml, and after having alcohol, okay, for 6 hours avoid breastfeeding. But otherwise it's fine. There is no restrictions on food because ultimately you have to produce milk and you have to be happy. So do not crave your taste buds. Do not, like some mothers crave for chutney, some others crave for pani puri or pav bhaji or whatever it is. Please eat food, eat healthy and eat enough. And eat everything what you are usually eating. Do not experiment on your body.
Okay, so Ankita is very happy with the answer. Doctor, a very important question coming in here. I don't know, like how can we help them? But she's asking, can you recommend a lactation consultant who can come home or either runs the support programs on your mothers?
Yes, we have a mother support group. Like we are a part of a group which is called Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India. We all are working together as a team where my mentor is there, and we have a lot of other doctors and a lot of mother support group leaders. So these are mothers like you who have taken up breastfeeding as an initiative. It's called BPNI, Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India.
Wow.
So in this we have a lactation support counselors and mother support group leaders. Some of them are lactation consultants too who have been qualified, and some of them are only lactation coordinators and trainers who are very good. So if you need help, okay, anywhere in Bombay, they are willing to come home and help you.
Wow.
So you all can connect with me. Probably I can give you numbers and you can help them to come home, and they can help you with breastfeeding.
So lovely. I suppose, doctor, they'll start messaging you and pinging you, and with your schedule, I'm sure you'll. So we can put that in the wall copy post also if you're comfortable.
Yes.
Whatever numbers you give, we'll put it
Sure.
there. So yes, mommy, there is a support program for you, and there are people who can help you on
And
this.
also I do a lot of, like yesterday only I had this mother from Delhi with whom I did a live Skype call, or probably I do a WhatsApp video calling. So I have been working with a lot of mothers who are going to deliver through surrogates and who are having an adopted baby. So even if you are not a pregnant mother and you want to breastfeed, there is help. So I have these kind of mummies with whom I connect, okay, all over the world. Okay,
So what do you mean by saying that we have a help? They can also breastfeed?
Yes. So a mother who is not pregnant, a mother who wants to become a mother but who is not pregnant, can breastfeed her babies. Okay? So
how's that possible?
That is possible. That's too much. And believe me, I have had these mothers who have had tears in the eyes when they see the baby.
I'm sure.
Because any which way they are going through so much of guilt that they are not able to conceive and get pregnant. But when they breastfeed, they feel complete as a mother and as a woman. So I have also if there is a problem with your position and latch, then it needs to be personally seen.
Okay.
But otherwise, I help most of the mummies on Skype and WhatsApp, and probably it has been working fantastic.
And Dr. Zinan has just inspired me to start a WhatsApp group for surrogate mothers, and I suppose that's a beautiful, beautiful start. And we'll have her there, as of course as a mentor there, because she can't really spend a lot of time chatting with all of us all the while. But you can all contact her for a one-on-one counseling. You can take appointment, and I'm sure, Doctor, you're open to that.
Yes, I'm open to that. Yes.
So amazing. So I'll definitely be putting in the doctor's detail, contact numbers, and other stuff there in the wall copy post, so that you can be in contact with her and take up your individual issues, because I feel every mother is unique, so your issues can be unique as well. Coming on to the last question, doctor, because we don't have much time and there are a lot of questions coming in every moment. So very, very predominant questions by mothers. When should I introduce a bottle?
I say an absolute no to a bottle. Okay, the babies can love only one, bottle or breast. You decide what you want your babies to love. If you want your babies to love you, please don't introduce the one.
But then
You
what
can
about
always
babies?
do, if you have to do supplementing feed, either express breast milk, or maybe by for any situation you have to give some other milk, you can use a feeding cup. Okay, you get very small feeding cups. Okay, or you can use a Paladai. Paladai is called Bonda. It's a feeding spoon which you get to feed milk to the babies, which is pointed at the start. Then it's a round, and then there's a handle to hold. So you can just pour milk from the corner of the mouth. In fact, it's used to give medicines. Okay, most of the Indian families have that, and the mothers and mother-in-laws know what that is
correct,
called.
correct. Which comes in steel also.
Yes, and you can
Oh.
also use syringes. So if you're too hygiene conscious, you can use disposable 2cc or 5cc syringes to feed the baby, or you can use normal kadoi chamach.
Okay,
But please do not introduce the bottle because it causes more of infection, it causes more of addiction, and it absolutely is not a thing because the babies develop ear infection and also dental malalignment at a later date. So if you want to add invite problems, you can give the bottle. So my recommendation to most of the mothers is do not expose shortcuts to the baby, because when you give bottle, babies drink milk, put, it's over. But with the breast, it is they have to suckle on for longer time. So please allow the baby to be bonded to you and to breastfeed and not get used to the bottle.
That's amazing. And I suppose we had an amazing interaction with doctor, and of course she has to head to the hospitals. You are already aligned with a lot of hospitals. Can you,
Yes.
do you want to give that info to my audience?
I visit lactation as a lactation consultant to Hinduja Hospital and Seven Hills Hospital. I have my clinic in Lokhandwala, Andheri, which is Mother's Care Clinic, and I go to Critical Hospital.
Wow.
But in this journey of my 15 years, what I have realized is that every mother has the right to decide her goals. And every mother is important to take a decision for herself and her baby. So you as a mother are in the driving seat of your baby. So please take the right decisions, and we are all here to help you to take the right decisions. I want you all to enjoy motherhood, and it's your baby's birthright to breastfeed. Do not take away that right from your baby by exposing them to bottle or baby formula or baby cow's milk or any shortcuts. So be happy, be bonded, and enjoy your motherhood.
Okay, so I suppose those are real golden words as a parting words from an amazing expert doctor we had here. And in fact, Dr. Zina, you're the first doctor to come on board, or the expert
that's
series.
nice.
And because of our mother's demand, we'll keep bringing these kind of amazing doctors to our live sessions such that their advices reach the larger cause. And of course, what Dr. Zina is doing is commendable, because it's not just her profession, she's also going beyond her job, call of duty, and helping the community, doing a lot of social work, reaching out to some underprivileged areas. She just told me that she's been to Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and a lot of areas like that, and done some amazing work there. So doctor, we need more people like you all, and thank you for spending time with us, and it's an amazing interaction with you on the World's Breastfeeding Week, and we hope to call you again very soon.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you, Momo Indians, and thank you everybody for the kind listening. And I'm open to questions if you really want to ask. But I want all of y'all to breastfeed. Thank you.
Breastfeed. Okay, so I suppose mamas, you also enjoyed this live interview as much as I enjoyed it. It was very, I would say, educative. It was having a lot of immense knowledge around breastfeeding. A lot of myths were busted. And on that note, we try to bring in always the kind of expert in our Know Thy series who can help you, with these myths, understand the real nuances of certain domain, and of course become an expert at it. So mothers, Happy Mom Project is on for you. Be stress-free, be happy, be smiling, and that's all from us. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.